What up, y'all? Happy Friday, WWT Live. It's Battleground season coming up next.
Yeah. Now I'm going to go off. This is Shayna, the Queen of Spades, Baszler, and you're watching Women's Wrestling Talk.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Women's Wrestling Talk, the #1 women's wrestling network on the planet.
What up, y'all? Happy Friday. Look at that. Our official producers in the building right when we are. Sorry for the tardiness. Welcome back to me, TK Trinidad here. I am not alone. Miss Wrestling with Honey's in the building. How are you doing?
You already know I'm great. Feeling some good energy now that the boss lady's back in the house. Good vibes.
I know.
Good vibes.
Like
Lovely. Great to see your face.
Thank you. I mean, it's like I came back and the purple hair was gone. We'll discuss more. The councilman is in the building. Councilman Farrell. Okay.
I had to wear my shades because the real TK came to play. Oh man, we out right now. Let's go.
Oh my goodness. So much to go on, so much going on. I'm really excited. We'll get into predictions for Battleground coming up in Vegas later on in the show, but so much is going on. I mean, I could speak for Will. We're both in LA. I mean, some days feel like it's summer and some days feel like it's not, but feeling great that's in summer. How's the weather by you, honey?
It's actually not bad. It's hot. It's getting hot, hotter and hotter by the day, for sure. Summer is upon us.
There it is. So speaking of hot, this is probably a terrible transition. I'm probably terrible with my analogies and transitions. But AJ Francis, he is the new minted digital media superstar. Let's get into this. Big congratulations to him. What do you guys think of this?
I think this is pretty epic for AJ Francis. This is really something really cool for him. Just, another notch on his belt, being that, he's just moving on up in the independent circuit. I think this is also speaks volumes of him about as far as them giving him a chance to, have that little limelight taste to see what he does with it and see how he can, progress going forward. But shout out to AJ Francis.
Yeah, always in support of my big back wrestlers, and AJ Francis is no different. He's part of the big back squad. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know what it is. Big back squad is always in the building. But no, I agree completely with Honey. I'm glad to see that they're taking a chance on them and to see that being in the independent circuit has really helped him progress. Not too sure why WWE let him go, but I still just think it's a great way of just kind of like how Mustafa Ali did. You got let from the big show, but you still didn't let it beat you. You standing 10 toes down, and I think it's just a good investment for TNA and hopefully on a path to maybe some redemption in WWE with how things have been going lately. But, like you said, we'll get into that in a little bit.
Do you think that, because it feels like AJ, you have people who kind of know what works for them. And I don't necessarily know as far as before he started WWE. Obviously, we know he has NFL career, etc. I don't know if he had a clear vision of what he wanted himself, where he wanted himself to be when he first started wrestling. However, it's very clear now that he has a clear vision of what he wants to do with his career. And with that being said, do you think that with WWE, they're going to be more open to that?
I think so.
Why not?
Yeah, especially with the move to Netflix.
I was just going to say that, and as well as that being part of TNA, and we've seen TNA show up on WWE soil again. You never know if that could resurface. Possibly, I think it's possible.
Yeah. And I think he can give better creative idea to it as well. Now that he, like you said, to your point, now that he knows what he wants to do, how he's moving forward, I think he has a better way of being able to articulate how he wants to his character to go and give a little bit of input. And hopefully, big old sexual chocolate, another one of the big back squad, goes to WWE Mark Henry and can put him under his wing. He is a big back alumni, Mark Henry. We made him go way back. Got some stars too.
Oh
So-
boy.
Let me take these shades
So
off.
is
My
there
ego's
like-
too high.
So is there like a big back coalition that happens that you like, these people are part, like that you're part of, or you sound like you guys like this.
Yeah, we got we go ahead, honey.
I was gonna say, is there a big back yearly annual convention or something, like a big back con or something like that?
Yeah. 3 weeks ago, we had the Big Back barbecue. We call it Big Back Mountain. What happens at Big Back stays at Big Back. You know what I'm saying?
Oh my God.
Lots of ribs, steaks, good time, fireplaces, whiskey, some greens, because we got to try to be healthy. But yeah, it's a whole community over here. The Big Back community is growing strong. You know what we said? We don't mind keeping our shirts on in the summer because we know we're gonna have us a good time when lunch and dinner is around.
BBC, the BBC, I'm done. Boss lady, I don't know, man. I guess this is the energy to bring when the boss lady comes back in the house.
No comment that won't get me in trouble with HR. I'll leave that all alone. Shout out to Jeffrey in the building, Bosa, special little nobodies. Wow, yeah, we're starting now.
Yeah, I missed my 2 days. So, like, I missed y'all, man. I was like, yo, I ain't get to go on Monday or Wednesday. I was like, yo, I'm excited.
Oh, we missed you too, Councilman. It's always a vibe.
Yeah. I mean, congratulations to AJ Francis winning the TNA Digital Media title. Wow.
Councilman's on this level right now. TJ.
We like cake over here.
I mean, I don't even know how to that. I mean, I feel like I should add a pause respectfully just for the Big Back crew. I don't know.
No, you ain't got to. As I can make the executive decision on that. You do not have to do that because believe me, you're going to have to bring that clip up again later. Just know that clip is going to come up later.
Oh my Jesus. Oh my God. Well, happy Friday.
Yes, indeed. Happy Friday.
All right. What? Congratulations to AJ, TNA, and then also part of. So is he part of the? You know what? We're not going to go down this route. We'll leave it alone. Maybe one day he'll come on and we can discuss this Big Back coalition. With that being said, what do we have next?
Let's hold on. Got some. Apparently, Tony Khan has been very eager for Britt Baker and Jamie Hayter. People have been wondering their status of their AEW contract, and fans and people have been questioning their absence. What do you guys make of this going on with Britt Baker? Do you think that we will see a return to AEW, or do you think there's some struggles going on in the office with Fake TK?
It depends. What did he end up saying? He said Dr. Britt Baker is one of our original stars, and she's been out injured for an extended period of time. I'm very eager to get Britt back. So that's what he told Uprock. She's somebody that's been a part of AEW all along, and we love to have her back in the mix very soon. And Jamie Hayter has also been out for extended period of time with injury. Jamie Hayter's time ability is still pending, but I think having Jamie back at AEW would be fantastic. Some generic answers from the Fake TK, but I feel like that's pretty. I mean, I feel like they have been injured. I don't see why he would lie and say they're injured when they're not. So that's one thing. I definitely want to see both ladies in the mix, especially with everything that's going on with Thunder Rosa being back. In the mix with Toni Storm. We were talking about this earlier on today. We have kind of a new, old but new show. We have our ROH post show, but we also mix ROH with TNA. So we do that every Friday morning. You can check that out. ROH and AEW have a really great women's roster. It's just that they're not doing justice by them. So it's just kind of like I felt like with Britt Baker when she was the champion. I don't know. It was just a really great. She brought a certain energy to it, and no shade to Toni Storm. I like her gimmick. However, and I say this, and I also know that Tony Khan, the fake TK, he has a certain amount of money where, and now I'm being in his pockets, but I don't really know. He has a certain amount of money that you can lose money, and it's fine. Opposed to some other companies where you have to make money in order for the company to survive. And that's what it feels like with AEW. Like if they're in the red, that's okay. If they're in the green, then great. And that really changes how they make decisions. And that's why I feel like the women's division is suffering because of it. Because like you could afford. It's just kind of like, think about when you have like, you just get your paycheck and the type of food that you eat versus you not getting your paycheck for 2 more weeks and the type of food that you eat and your bank account's really low. That's kind of what it feels like. Terrible analogy. Y'all know me, my terrible analogies, but that's what it kind of feels like. It's like you can just do whatever you want because he has that type of money, which to me makes the women's division kind of suffer a bit. What do you guys think?
Go ahead, Councilman. You can go.
Oh, okay. I would love to see the two of them in the WWE. Don't get me wrong, because that's where the heart, that's home. But if the fake TK can get it together, I would like to see them there at least maybe 2 to 3 more years, just because of now the roster that's there. I think like you said, when Britt Baker was there, it was good, but they were still trying to establish who's in charge, who's this. And now that you have more people there, there's a lot of matches I'd like to see Britt Baker take on, even someone like timeless Toni Storm. And I get to your point, TK, because hers is a gimmick, so it goes over for her, but it doesn't extend to the rest of the women's roster, as opposed to Britt Baker. Britt Baker, you saw like, the target's on the back, you still can't mess with me, and I got fillings to do on Monday. So throw what you're gonna throw, but I'm gonna still be women's champion. But I think to your point, and something that I've continued to mention now, especially after Double or Nothing, he has to do a better job with making his entire roster make sense. Again, as I said, none of his belts mean anything except the AEW World Championship. And you've really shown that now with the women's titles, because the TBS women's title is bigger than the women's world heavyweight title. Like your women's champion was the 4th on the card of one of your biggest pay-per-views, and you don't see a problem with that. So unless you start to really structure that a lot more, and one, I think too, if Britt comes back, the way he can remedy that first and foremost is it needs to be Britt Baker, timeless Toni Storm, and All In, and it's the main event. That's how you put your women's roster really over and have people now start to get the focus over there, because you haven't had them main event one of your pay-per-views yet. And that now you have 2 characters. You have a Britt Baker and a timeless Toni Storm where that can make sense and sell tickets.
But here's the issue. So one in the article, shout out to which article is it? Yeah, Wrestle Inc. I believe it was. Where they were talking about this, or they were reporting on this. The problem is we don't know when she's going to come back. And I would like to see that, but I feel like there should be enough of a buildup to it. And on top of that, I feel like they're not utilizing the women's locker room. So if Britt comes back, right, and now she's in the title picture, what happens to everybody else? Like, you know, for instance, Deanna and Tony Storm, like that was a good build. Of course, Deanna didn't win, but I kind of, and I heard some rumblings behind the scenes as to why Tony Storm is still champion, and not taking away anything from her gimmick or any of that stuff. But it feels like that would have been a perfect time to take the strap off of her and put it on Deanna. Because now it just feels like, to me, Deanna's just floating, and it's you know what I'm saying. So I would love to see that as far as Britt and Tony going after each other, but it'd have to make sense. And I think sometimes what happens is you get these matches where they're just thrown, and it's like, oh, that's a great match, but like, how did we get here? And I was talking about this morning, where you have two types of people. One who loves wrestling, like just show me the wrestling. I don't care about the storyline. It's not soap opera. And then you have people who like the storyline, because then for me, I like a good storyline because then it adds to it more and I'm more invested. So,
but I think that's AEW's biggest problem right there. I think you actually gotta have them do that as a general thing for everybody, which they don't do, because now the same thing you just said with that is the same thing they're now doing with Osprey and Swerve. It's like, yo, that quick? No story build up, no nothing. Y'all just threw them together like that. Like the only story you really let play out kind of recently is Sasha and Willow, and that was already established without you.
Right.
You played on that because it was already created. And it's just like everything else it does kind of seem like, oh, we're gonna put this together. Oh, we're not even gonna finish up that story. They already had their match. There's no continuation. It's just like, so it's been getting them by for 5 years. So I just don't know how long they can keep that up.
Right. And maybe the product is not for people who like me, who want like a good storyline. Not necessarily a lot, because ROH is the total opposite, where the storylines they elongate it. Like the storyline's going on for months. I like the sweet spot where it is click the link, Mr. Wait, what link is that? What are we talking about? I'll let you all talk about that in chat. But
What's going on?
Yeah, what?
I don't know, because Cedric is supposed to be on the show, because that's what we
he commented.
I don't know where. I don't know.
We're in a multiverse right now, man.
Right, it's like what?
Yeah,
it's a whole other multiverse.
Yeah,
but I was gonna say, to the point of Britt Baker, one of the last things I also wanted us to keep in mind, one of the last things that I remember hearing of Britt Baker was that she was pretty frustrated with booking, from what I remember from that last November, and that and she pretty much vented her frustrations very publicly. Who's to say she'll even stick around? I think I saw a comment. It might have been Dylan or Boza that said it, but let her cook in WWE. See what other things that they could create for her over there, whether it's NXT and or even the main roster. But I'm not sure what else would be left for Britt Baker. I mean, she has been a very dominant champion already in AEW, and Owen Hart tournament winner, Dynamite Award, and things like that. AEW Women's World Championship, even though it was only one time, it was still something that was still a reign that was memorable, which is kind of on the level that Toni Storm is right now. But if we do hear her music play at some point in time in the future, I think that would be very interesting. And I think that would be probably a very big threat to Toni Storm's reign when that time comes. So I wouldn't put it past her to go to transition, but I wouldn't put it past her to stay either.
And also shout out to Britt Baker, just in general, for being who she is. My mom would really appreciate Britt Baker, and I'll tell you why. Because Britt went to school, she became a doctor, she's a dentist, she has her own business, and she's doing wrestling. And when I say have her own business, when your body no longer wants to wrestle, she has that 401k, she has those health benefits, she has triple, when she retires, she's Gucci.
She got a 401k.
Whoo! My mom would adopt her. Not to say I have the 401k too, but the balance of both not taking nothing away from other wrestlers who just like, this is all I want to do. But like Britt Baker is like the West Indian mama's dream. Like, what, you want to go and wrestle? Yeah, okay, but I'll go. Like, I got you.
But I'll
Like,
also be invested.
Big facts. Big facts.
Mom. You don't need to worry. Like,
I could do anything.
I'm just saying,
I got
like,
you.
She can teach you how to body slam, and she can give you a crown mold, and she does it all. Why you don't get with her?
Right.
Just saying. So
that's so funny. I don't know what's going on in the chat, but I think Cedric is on his Tinkerbell-ish, because it's saying say his name and he appeared. I believe in EST, and everybody's clapping their hands. Like, I'm not sure what to make of this.
I saw this thing. This is probably one of those shows where it's gonna go off the rail. But I saw this thing on Instagram where they said that because I don't watch horror movies, but it's referring to Candyman, and it's like, you're the one who called his name 3 times. He's running his own business, so it's kind of one of those things that if the horror movie wouldn't be the horror movie if they say don't say his name 3 times, and then you go and say his name 3 times. So
I let that man mind his business as a child. I had a horrible PTSD with Candyman because we had a dude that lived in an abandoned home, like at the end of the street, and he walk out in a big fur coat and he looked just like Candyman, and he just sit out there and stare at you. Now, I didn't learn till later he was just a junkie and he was just high and he didn't even really recognize any of us right there. But for me, Candyman lived down the street, and we don't go to that house. You don't go play over there. Because that's Candyman over there. I almost said it 3 times.
Oh.
Look at that. Talk my mom said it 3 times. See, TK, this on you. This on you. We already had Uncle Howdy over here infiltrating the live.
Listen. Uncle Howdy has it in. Uncle Howdy has it in for us, I think, Councilman. I think we've been following the rabbit hole too deep, and he took over the stream like 3 different times already. This past Tuesday, he cut me off even. Like, it was just bad. It was just crazy. I'm just ready for
us to get our call, honey, to join. Like, I like, we already believe, but it's like, if you want us in a row, we are available.
Okay.
Yes. So wait, so you're a council in the Big Back Brigade. You're also a council member for who else? You're a council member for?
Man, I got a few people now. We also are established in Yeetropolis. We was waiting for Cedric, but for some reason he don't believe. He needs belief right now. But we have been making some big strides over there in Parkerville. Strattonville as well is always frequented, and then just came from Los Ricochet to do damage control, because we got to fix that. We don't like what's going on with our brother Ricochet right now.
Boss lady, you missed a lot.
I guess so. We've established like 3 new things. Yes.
Elected officials.
We hit 20K, which is a big thing. Yeah, and on Monday we have a big announcement. Nice. We have a channel partner, so we'll be announcing that on Monday. So definitely
there we go.
Yeah, Councilman has several brackets. I don't know where Seth is, but let's talk Battleground. So much to this. Let's talk about this first match. I feel like this is where we're going to kind of hang our hat for this one. Roxanne and Jordan Grace. What do you guys think of this match? How do you think it's going to end up? We discussed it a little bit earlier this morning, and the professor had an interesting take. So I'm curious to hear what you guys' take will be for this one.
Yeah, after much deliberation the last couple of weeks, and the bombshell that was dropped all over the WWE universe with Jordan Grace arriving on NXT WWE soil, her first match on WWE soil as still a TNA Knockouts champion versus Stevie Turner. Mm-hmm. We talked about it on the NXT post show, so make sure you guys check that out. And we even did some light predictions. And I think that my light prediction is still going to remain the same because of many points that Professor made. I would not be surprised, nor would I be opposed to Madam Jordan Grace becoming a double champion, making history in Las Vegas, breaking through not even a door or a wall, just a ceiling of breaking, having Shawn Michaels just break through the glass ceiling like that, and then take it to another level where you're combining NXT and TNA as well. I mean, it's unprecedented. It's unheard of, and it sounds really good on paper. And honestly, it's going to be in Vegas. It's the first time they're doing it at the Apex and UFC Apex. I think this is going to be history, or in this case, Jeffrey Reimer says herstory in the making, and Jordynne Grace will come out as dual champion, because Roxanne could also go to the main roster. I could see her going to the main roster, or even, just do a back and forth with Jordynne Grace. But I definitely am going to go with Jordynne Grace winning this one.
Councilman?
I'm still torn. There's a lot. I'm feeling like Doctor Strange. There's a lot of possibilities that could happen. I could see Jordynne Grace doing this, making history, and as you said, honey, combining everything. I can also, like you said, see Roxy going to the main thing. I also see, though, her winning by some kind of disqualification. And maybe I'm a little off about it, but this may be the return of Cora Jade if she's not still hurt. Because but that's Roxanne's last thing in NXT. There's nothing else she needs to do. There's no one else she really needs to take on. That's her full circle moment. So I'm more curious to see, do they give that to who really is I don't know exactly what to call this version of NXT. I know it's not 2.0, like how they call it the black and gold brand era. I don't know what this era would be, but if whatever they call it, Roxanne is one of the faces of this generation. And so do they still give her circle moment, or is it just time for her to go up? It's so many possibilities in the air, but I know I have to choose one.
There can only be one, Councilman.
I'm gonna say, because then working with TNA, and I can potentially see TKO buying TNA if they already have it. I see Jordynne Grace holding both these belts at the end.
And the thing too is, with Roxanne, does she need the title to have her feud with Cora Jade?
Not really. Not anymore.
I say yes, because Cora Jade needs to be champion. We need to see her championship run. And I think her beating her and her giving it to Cora Jade, because of course, like how they do in the industry of like, when it's time to leave and go to your next thing, you give it to the next person. And I see them giving it to Cora Jade, because especially with everything, it's just like the feud they can have with that. Like, yo, you literally stole my whole thing with your heel run now. Like, so, and again, too, I don't know if Cora Jade is capable now, like, because we don't know the extent of her injury. But from what I saw, she's no longer wearing the brace or anything like that. She was back training, so you never know. But I'm gonna make a definitive decision and say Jordynne Grace is gonna be a 2 title holding winner.
Okay. Before I give my predictions or my view, which, like I said, we talked about it, I'd say not extensively. I'm also looking for this video for our guest who's coming on. I feel like
honey got no confidence in this at all.
I feel like it's one WWE right now. What they're doing is really, really great, and I feel like it's almost like they can't miss. And Professor did convince me that it makes sense, because TNA is partnered with Endeavor, which owns WWE and TKO and all this other stuff. So it benefits everybody to make money. You can't afford, you can afford to have TNA flounder, but they've been doing so well. So having this now, and then almost having Roxanne go after, like having one more run where Roxanne goes after Jordan, that gets back the belt, because it might be a short-lived situation, and then Cora Jade enters the picture. That could work as well. So there's so many possibilities here. That something that is happening. We did say his name 3 times, or you guys did.
Somebody said you said my name 3 times. Am I Beetlejuice now?
Go with that one. I like that you
They
went
were
with that
saying,
one. I like
they
that
were
you
saying Candyman.
Oh, okay.
But I like you went with Beetlejuice.
I need
Said he
the
said
Joe Henson drop.
I said,
what do you think of this match, said Jordan Grace and Roxanne Perez? Who do you got?
So you know what? This is probably one of the bigger surprises on this card, just that it's Jordan Grace and Roxanne. But I think there's more money in more money in a trilogy than anything. So I feel like that you'll see Jordan look kind of dominant in this match and give Roxanne a test, because this whole Roxanne title run, even dating back to last year when she got the title and lost the title in the ladder match Stand and Deliver, it's all been about, hey, like, I never lost. Then she got her shot, won it back. And now the division is strong, but there's a lot of people that need to like kind of earn their stripes. Jordan comes in as a fixed product. We know who she is. She can be equal and go toe-to-toe with people on the main roster. So it's somebody you can look at that is above Roxanne in terms of where they're at in their career right now. So I think Jordan looks strong. I take Jordan to go over. And I think at the next big TNA pay-per-view, or PLE, whatever you want to call it, I think that's when you'll see the second encounter between the two. I think it's called, is it TNA Against All Odds?
Yeah. Against All Odds.
Yeah, I think that's when you'll see them go round 2, probably leading into a round 3 in Q3 of the year.
Do you think Roxanne's going to drop?
Yes. Absolutely. I don't know. I don't see why you would do this match if she doesn't drop.
Yeah.
This is probably the biggest threat to her title reign, probably a little bigger than Cora Jade.
Yeah. And this opens up history books for you, like especially for you to do it and connect that bridge to TNA, something so many people have talked about. Like that also shows your stock to the company, as you know what, we are someone that we can get behind you when you go to the main roster. Because I haven't seen so many of the NXT stars like be major title holders outside, of course, Tiffany Stratton, but Roxanne definitely is one of those. I'm like, yo, I can see you being a women's champion very soon and them getting behind you with doing this.
Bosa is saying Roxanne has to drop, and I can see her challenging Jordan Grace at Against All Odds. Dylan saying, steady with the facts, exactly my thoughts. Is there going to be some sort of open challenge to TNA? Yeah, that's going to be for All Against All Odds. With that being said, that leads us into our next match, which is for the NXT Women's North American Championship, the first of its kind. Who do you guys have for this one?
As I was telling them, Cedric, I made some trips over to Parkerville, and
you had a good time, didn't you?
Well, I had a fantastic time, sir.
Yeah.
We are 100% invested in Miss Jada Parker becoming the first ever Women's North American Champion.
So, wait, what happened in Parkerville? Why are you smiling that hard, Will?
Hey,
my goodness!
You gotta find out for yourself. You just gotta go down there.
It's a great time. It's a great time.
You won't be disappointed.
You will not be disappointed. I'm telling you now. I can co-sign that. Honey, you can too. Honey. And bring the wig.
Honey,
bring the wig
too.
I was volunteered for this trip. I didn't say nothing. I didn't book no ticket nowhere. I'm good. I'm good right here in Honeyville. I'm good right here.
Okay. Who
But-
do we have for this match?
but anyway, I have for this match personally. I have two. All right. The way Professor and I spoke about this, it was hard for us to pick just one, so we have one definite pick and one dark horse. My dark horse is. I don't. You know what? It's funny because I don't even remember who I said on Tuesday, but I'm just gonna go with Parkerville. I'm gonna have to say that my dark horse is Miss Jada Parker. She's not my definite win. My definite win goes to Miss Lash Legend. I could see Lash Legend making history, being the first North American women's champion, also as well as first Black women North American women's champion, double time history. And considering the slight, I'm not sure. I'm sorry to bring this up now, boss lady, but with the uncertainty of the status of Lash Legend and Trick Williams and everything now, it's like I can't help but wonder, and I understand her hustle. Girl, you gotta go do your thing. You gotta focus on your title because we as women know what it's like when you gotta focus on your hustle and you're getting your bag. But I could see her acquiring the title, and then Trick is the champion, and they kind of running the division in NXT. But then again, we don't know the status of their relationship. I'm just saying.
I'm trying to bring it up.
I know. Because I'm sorry. I know it can be a sensitive subject for some.
Wow!
I missed you, boss lady. I had to make up for lost time. I haven't even sent you Trick content in a minute, so because I know you were busy.
Any rebuttal, real TK?
I kind of want Lash to win too. However, for some reason, I feel like Soul might take it. I feel like there have been certain things that's happening in the background, certain things that I'm sure Booker doesn't know who's gonna win just yet, but I feel like there's just certain positionings that kind of is putting her in the forefront. Jeffrey saying trouble in Trickyville. So I kind of have a feeling that she'll take it. But the good thing about this, all these women, is that like Kalani Jordan has everybody has a really good case, and they all have a good case for being champion, which is a good place to be. Where sometimes when you have these pictures here, you can cross out 2 or 3 people, it's like, yeah, they're definitely not winning. Whereas every woman in here, they, you can have a really great run, a really great storyline. So we'll see what happens. See,
it's gonna be a good match. I think.
Yeah. Bosa saying Soul has been getting a good push since she's returned from injury. Makes sense, real TK, but I agree with Dylan. She'll be one that makes fans go, holy shit.
Yeah.
So
I think she's going to
this is going to be the match of the night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, because they got a lot riding on them. I'm not gonna lie. Because
and we've had a lot of great ladder matches in NXT history.
Yeah,
we've had really good Kevin Owens and Finn Balor. The 6-man with who was it? Ivar, Lars Sullivan, Ricochet, Velveteen, Adam Cole. At that time, you had the triple threat, the Street Profits with Undisputed Era, Tony Lorcan, and Bert
I think AOP, right?
Or whatever. Oh no, that was Forgotten Sons.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah, it was a fatal 4-way tag team. Like this match has potential to make history as one of the greatest ladder matches in history. And Professor mentioned it, and I saw somebody say it in the chat as well. I think it was Jeffrey. But we need to see a soul snatcher off the ladder. Because the minute Professor said it, I was like, yes, absolutely. That's what we need. That is so what we need.
Yeah.
Before we continue, Seti said, "Where are you?"
I'm where I'm at. You know, it's a very important weekend for me, and with my client training, you know, I got to train too. We got to get in the gym together for this monumental weekend.
Well, you're gonna need it.
Said, did she get my welcome basket to Vegas? Just wanted to confirm that.
She did, and she thanks you for your contributions to her campaign. So
you let her know. You let her know this office is in full support of Jada Parker this Sunday.
I'm gonna have to go over to I'm gonna have to go over to Baysville and acknowledge the real queen of NXT. You know, because I'm not sure if I don't know where all this love is coming from for Lola Bison when, you know, people were advocating for Shayna Baszler before as well. So I'm kind of confused here, guys. I'm confused.
Well, I can tell you really quick before I make my prediction. We can really easily tell you where Shayna made her mistake. She made her mistake when she denied the curves of Lola Vice. Keep in mind, this is the same Shayna Baszler who I will call a hypocrite, who was on. We caught her in 4K wanting to get stink faced by Rhea Ripley, but all of a sudden she don't like when Lola Vice shake it. That's a hypocrite to me. To me,
Lord.
That's a hypocrite.
We're going there.
But so is it Uchiwali or is it one mic, Shayna? That's all I gotta say.
Now you can play the clip, TK. I told you about to replay the clip. This is the time to replay the clip. That's one thing we like.
Yep. Wow. That's about to pound the streets.
So
I plead the fifth completely.
Oh.
Once I find that clip, I'm deleting that one. But back to the ladder match.
I plead the fifth. I plead the fifth completely.
Oh.
We like Cape.
I like what Hickenbottom kind of had. Like meat, like Fallon Henley is like the little in this match. And you know what? I was pro Fallon Henley in this whole match, but just because she stands the most to gain with all this new character work. But the way they have portrayed Jada Parker these past 2 weeks is not lost on me, especially with the media trail she's been doing. She's been on the Booker T's podcast. I think she was on the Ringer as well. They are highlighting her for a reason. So I think they see the viral moment she's had and just having a young budding star. I do think it is going to be Jada Parker. For you, TK, I hope you didn't book any last minute flights to Vegas to call Slash the match, though. We're watching you. We know she broke your man's heart. Don't involve yourself in that.
I don't even know how I got roped into all of this. I don't really know how I got roped into all of this. I'm not a patron of any bills or cities. I mind my own business, but here we are.
Let me find out. Lash about to grab the belt, and you see TK pushing the ladder down and put her through another ladder. We better not see that tonight.
I don't know what to say.
I'm about empowering Black women. I encourage love. I love Black love. They do. Although I could speak candidly in real life and in fake life. I feel like Lash shouldn't have called it quits with Trick. He was behind her. He is behind her, literally and figuratively. And you don't need to break up. If your man is gonna support you, let the man support you.
I hear that, sister.
There you go. Yes, indeed. Yes, she did. Yes, she did. Man, it's Black Air Force energy over. If Jada wear a Black Air Force Ones tomorrow, she winning. She walk out and know she winning.
You mean Sunday? Or is it Saturday?
It's Sunday.
Is it tomorrow? Oh, I was like,
it's Sunday.
Or no, is it? Okay. I'm all the way confused. All right. let's move on. So wait, so I'm guessing you have Parkerville said?
Yes. My young upstart client is going to be your first women's North American champion.
Your client.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Well, there it is. We
keep watching the RVD tape.
Our next match. Who do you guys have for this one?
Oh, Obi. Big Obi.
Oh, big back Oba retained.
We've been trying to get him in the coalition, man, but he ain't gonna be returning our calls. We're gonna get him though. We're gonna get him. The coalition is on you, Obi, and we are rooting for you Saturday.
Sunday.
Why do I? It should be Saturday. They didn't got me all prepared with Saturday pay-per-view PLEs. Just make it Saturday. Let's do this tomorrow.
All right.
Yeah.
It's one of those days, y'all. Honey, who do you got?
I got Obafemi retaining the big man. I want to see him and Wesley one-on-one rightfully for that North American title. I think Gallus is going to do what they can to try to have the numbers game on their side, but I think it's going to backfire. This would be officially probably one of the biggest threats to Obafemi's North American Championship, but I have every faith in our big man that he will make it through and push through and remain the dominant North American champ.
Yeah, because West need to go back for that NXT title. You done what you can with the North American, and Coffee Man just, I don't know.
You're
not feeling
not connected. It's just not connecting yet. I think, you know what it is? It's because he left the Big Back Coalition and wanted to lose weight. That's what this is. I remember when he was a little bit bigger, and I was just like, yo, I'm rooting for him, but he got in shape. I'm glad for that. But I don't know, just something with them and Gallus just for some reason hasn't connected. And I just think maybe because I haven't seen him in a good feud with their whole faction and someone else. And I think they haven't gotten a chance to really be as utilized as they need to. But for some reason, it's just not there yet for me.
Safe to say that the councilman is not.
I'm not feeling
it. He's not with it.
I'm not with it.
Yeah, but are you more upset that he lost the weight, or it sounds like it's because he lost the weight that you're really not feeling it, versus him not?
No. That's just a joking part. No. But it's just something about them that I think again just hasn't connected yet, and I just think they haven't had a great lasting feud for me that made them look like, okay, I'm ready to see one of these titles go to Gallus. Even from the tag team standpoint, it's like, yo, and I just don't know what it is yet. I can't put my finger on it, but it's just it's almost there, just not yet.
Said, who do you think?
So this one's weird because you want to root for the underdog, but triple threats always have a means of canceling people out. So I don't think it's time for Oba to drop just yet. I think Oba will retain. I think you'll even get a one-off with with Oba and Wes Lee at some point. But the money here, when you talk about what Councilman's talking about, Gallus kind of having a money feud with all of this Forbidden Door partnerships going around, you can really do something with Gallus versus Wes Lee. Enter your TNA partnership, and then he gets his tag team mates back with Rascals. I think that's what you can possibly see at Against All Odds is the Rascals versus Gallus, because there's a bunch of challengers still back there for Obafemi, but just the way he's built, I don't think he loses now. And if he ever does lose, I think it would be in this triple threat match where he doesn't take the pin, but it's not now.
Yeah. And built in real life and in wrestling life. Definitely. Appreciation. I have Obafemi as well. Who do we got next?
What was that? You leaving Trickyville?
Yes, of course. Yes, of course.
We have this next. I'll let Mayor start us off with who he thinks is going to win.
Let me shoulders are shimmying right now. You know that it's the main event. You can't convince me that this is not the main event. UFC Apex, first time in the partnership. We're doing a UFC style shoot match in the Apex with women. Only the second time we've seen Underground be held by women. Who was in the first one? Lola Vice defeating that Canadian clout chaser Natty. So here we have this match between two people. And you know what? I want to bring this up real quick because we're kind of bearing the lead of what has happened this week. Because if you paid attention to Monday Night Raw, Shayna was kind of not taking this serious, if you ask me. I mean, Lola in the gym training every day, grinding hard. Shayna's worried about the tag team titles with Zoe Stark. That's not lost on me. The fact that she hasn't been paying a lot of attention to Lola this week. Lola actually was interviewed with MMAfighting.com this morning, actually, and she's claiming she's going to knock Lola out. I second those sentiments. I think you're going to get a resounding victory here. It's going to be memorable. It's going to put Lola on the map, and I think Shayna does the job. Yeah, I agree, Jeffrey. We're going like that's another reason why this is the main event. It sucks we gotta bring up Sexy Red, but I feel like they're gonna twerk over Shayna's like lifeless body at the end of the show. That's gonna be your go home moment.
Oh, so that's the main event?
I feel like that's the main event.
Why, honey? Why though?
What I missed?
Lord, what are we gonna do with you? What are we gonna do with this? What are we gonna do with you, Mayor? What are we gonna do with you, man? What like, why? I get it. Lola's hot. Lola's the hot thing right now. I understand. But just a while ago, we were acknowledging our Queen of Spades and the return and the reconstruction. And, you know, this is what we've been wanting and asking for. The rightful queen of NXT besides Asuka, technically. But still, one of the top women in NXT history, one of the most dangerous women, one of the most baddest women in NXT history. Like you mean to tell me that the veteran in Shayna is going to be laying lifeless to the hot and spicy Lola Vice twerking and a shaking with Sexy Red, and that's your go home moment.
Yep. And Shayna did it to herself because of stink face discrimination. She did it to herself.
Oh boy.
We all know Shayna's gonna enjoy every second of that. We all know that.
I'm looking for.
She gonna have the best view in the house.
I'm looking for a prayer for the mayor and the constituents of Vice City. Y'all gonna need some prayers.
Wow.
So, honey, who you got? Who you got taking it?
You already know. I got my Queen of Spades. Let's go. Shayna Baszler. This is no game. I've been saying this for weeks. I've been saying this for months. I've been wanting this. I've been waiting for this. It didn't matter how it came, and it just happens to be Lola in the way now. And Lola wants to go ahead and kick people in the face. She's gonna have to eat. She's gonna have to eat it up. She's gonna have to, understand that there are repercussions to messing with a queen such as Shayna Baszler. And I can't wait to see what happens.
Dylan brings up an interesting point. I think it was based off of Eric's comment, because we have Jordan Grace coming over from TNA, and the Forbidden Door seems to be open. Could we see more, in particular, women from TNA in the knockouts, like a Marsha Slamovich, coming in, and because there is some crossover beyond the WWE universe, could we see more TNA knockouts appear this weekend?
I can see more appearing. I don't know in this particular match though. Dang, see now y'all done made some possibilities now.
Professor did mention at the post show too.
I really hope we don't have any interference in this match. I think that would take away from the moment, especially with this being the first partnership of the UFC Apex. Because, I mean, there was There's shenanigans in the first women's battleground match. I don't think it's necessary this time around.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. But as much as we are connected with, Jada Parker taking this, man, I cannot get the vision out of my head of Shayna putting Lola to sleep. Like straight into like her caribou to cook. Like, yo, I can't get that picture out of my head. And Lola not tapping out, but passing out. I'm gonna say that. I don't see Lola tapping, but I see her passing out from the submission and Shayna taking.
She's only got 3 options.
Yeah. And I think she.
But then here's the question: It Shayna because Shayna goes back to the main roster whenever she goes back to the main roster. It's clear that she's coming down to kind of reinvigorate herself, etc. But Lola taps, then where does Lola go after that?
Well, that's why I said don't tap. Like if you pass out, that's a different thing because then you have the potential to be like an Austin and Bret Hart when he passed out from the sharpshooter. That's why I say I don't think she'll tap, but I do think like and I feel like Shayna's gonna have to do it a couple of times. Like it's not gonna be like it's gonna be where they're worn out and that's Shayna's last defense. And just like because we've seen because like that's been like one of her go-tos at NXT in some of her best matches. Like you done got so close, and then right then she didn't hit you in that chokehold, and it's over. They sleep, and it's like, yo, Shayna standing tall. So that I'm seeing that outcome. Unless you could tell me, Mayor, how Lola ends it. That's the thing I need to know. How do you see Lola ending this match?
Why I love subs. I love subs in any match, but especially when you have like these fighting style matches. The way they're building Lola right now, even though she showed some of her sub package off against Natty, I think they're building her to be a knockout artist, a striker. So I think it's just going to be the one that you don't see coming, and it's just going to catch Shayna. And in these fights, it's to the referee's discretion, just like in all UFC fights. It's to the referee's discretion if they're going to call the fight when somebody gets knocked down. It could be one of those things where you say like, "Hey, I thought the person had a little bit of their wits left, and the ref just called it."
Yeah.
All I know is, for better or worse, however we get there, whoever wins, Lola and Sexy Red gonna be doing their thing at the show. I don't know how we get there, but they'd have invested too much money into all of this to not do that. I don't know how we get there. We're gonna get there one way or another.
I don't know, man. I hope, but we gonna see, man.
Hold on. Real TK. How do we talk about the main event before getting to this? Because
it's not the main event.
I love this comment because he's convincing me that it is. I don't know why, but he's really convinced me that it's the main event.
Of all the slides for y'all to talk about early, how is this one appearing after that?
Because we were talking about the women's ladder match in Jada Parkerville, and then I guess Vice City, I guess Boss Lady was looking out for you, I guess, maybe.
In no particular order. But yeah, this is the last. I don't know if this is main event or not, but this is the last one. But what do you guys take on this?
This is kickoff. This kickoff.
This first match at best. This is first match at best.
Well,
I agree. I agree.
But let's not sit here and act like that this rivalry hasn't made us care about Axiom and Nathan Frazier, even when we did a few weeks ago. You know what I'm saying? Seeing what's gone on and transpired between these two teams has completely convinced me that Axiom and Nathan Frazier definitely deserve to be in the talks of being defending champions. They're not punks. They're not weaklings. They want to be fighting and defending champions. And you have such veterans in the OC. And I mentioned this on the post show, but they've done such a good job at over Nathan Frazier and Axiom. I mean, come on now, like it can't get no worse than first we had we have AJ Styles and LA Knight brawling at Media Day, and then all of a sudden you got these guys trying to sign some merch for some fans, and they're getting jumped. It's been a lot of tension between these two in the last couple of weeks, and I just think that I think that Axiom and Nathan Frazier retain this because they need to prove themselves a lot more than the OC does. Like the OC said themselves, they've had more title runs in different countries than they've had in the last year. So I get it. But Axiom and Nathan Frazier definitely need this win, so I'm going with them.
Councilman or Mayor?
If you think, if the Good Brothers lose to these two, that's all I gotta say. I like Nate and Axiom, but sir, if you lose to the only way I see that is something got to go wrong between the Good Brothers. Not like like no beef or nothing, but it got to be a mishap between them two for Axiom and Nate to pick up the win, and Frazier to pick up the win. Because just to that point, these dudes are legends. Like they done so much in here. Like it's gonna be a battle. Like even though we're making fun of it, going like, oh, it's the first match. Like it's gonna be a great opener to Battlegrounds. Like I don't think it's gonna be a bad match or anything like that. But it's like, Axiom and Frazier gotta have a playbook ready, and they gotta be on the same page to be able to take on these dudes for this title. And the way that the Good Brothers been looking now, you could tell they're taking them seriously. It ain't no just thing of just like the veteran stuff, but it's like, like I don't know. I'm seeing Magic Killer and us holding some new title winners being announced. So that's my pick, the Good Brothers.
Mayor?
Yeah, I feel like when a lot of these superstars come down to kind of help elevate the talent in NXT, it does revolve around them actually having a stint as NXT champions. So I think this is a likelihood for the Good Brothers to be champion just because they've been playing the whole angle. They've been appearing on NXT for like the past month and some change with the whole, you guys are ducking us. They were trying to, it still blows my mind that they chose Frazier and Axiom to defeat the Wolf Dogs. Blows my mind. But that was more about Braun Breaker needing to be on main roster than anything. And you know what's wrong with the NXT tag team division right now? It's that there's a lot of teams, like when Gallus left, it didn't feel like it was viable. And you know who I blame? That raggedy-ass D'Angelo family. Their tag team run stunk. Completely stunk. And now we're seeing the same thing with Axiom and Frazier, where their tag team run feels very Lyra Valkyria-like. Like very just there. Just existing. So I think you need a little shot in the arm here. I think the Good Brothers do that, and it'll mean more when the Good Brothers drop the title for the tag team division than anything. And for them dropping the titles, my money's on Blade and Inoue finally getting a big one whenever they do it.
And it sets up potential feuds too. It sets that up because you got them as a tag team champions and Mia Yim's there. And when Jada Parker becomes the new Women's North American Championship, she still basically is the lead of OTM. So that makes for good 6-man tags and a good rivalry for the three of for the tag team and for the ladies. So there's potential there for the women.
Y'all don't want to include Gallus either. Gallus is around too, and they've definitely like took over the division overnight without even having the belt.
It's sparking, honey. The sparks right here when I do it. It's just the current ain't staying current.
The engine's not coming on. All right.
For some reason, it's still not starting. But I like what the mayor said though too with this Forbidden Door stuff. I think having that with the Rascals would put that over. No, you know what? No, I take that back. No, this would be a good one right here, honey. You right. Them versus the Good Brothers would give that final engine start for them. Yeah, I'm not even gonna wait for Forbidden Door. I would say them with a few with the Good Brothers, we gonna have us a good solid match and would really put Gallus over if they were to drop it to them. Or even if they don't.
I don't even know what's going on. All right. Here we are. Do we have any final words? I can't remember if I said it, but we are going to be having a watch along and a post show for a Battleground on Sunday, so be on the lookout for that. But
Wait,
do we have any final words?
Are we missing a match?
Are we?
I thought Trick Williams and Ethan Page.
Trick Williams and Ethan Page was made official. That's right. Oopsie.
My bad. I don't have that graphic. Who do we have for that one?
Honey.
That one's tough. That one's really tough because
I don't know.
I mean, I feel like Trick is gonna win, right? I mean, I don't understand what everybody's.
That's what I said. That's what I was gonna say. I'm like, we're really having this. I mean, we have to have this conversation for the sake of the show, of course. But we really have to be like, who's winning this? It's the Trick Willie era. All ego. I get it. But you know what? You're making some real high demands just coming up in here in NXT and thinking you can make those high demands when you didn't even work for them. You know what I'm saying? And Trick Williams is gonna retain that belt one way or another. He's gonna find a way. I could definitely see a nice little rivalry between these two. Probably like a best 2 out of 3 kind of thing, or best out of 3 matches. The way they build rivalries these days, but I think Trick keeps it. For sure, Trick Willie.
Cousin Ron. That's what we doing today. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I'm the same. I'm going with Trick. I think ain't this like his real first title defense too?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like the build up, that everything that he's been through, and then getting the title. I feel like him dropping would be like all for naught.
Yeah, you can't do that twice.
Yeah, it's you. I feel like his run is gonna be lengthy, and there's gonna be some really good moments. So I definitely have Trick for this one.
Yes,
Mayor.
This is tough, man, because this is like the 5th person that's crossed the street, and then everybody that's crossed the street from the other company has been presented like stars. They've been presented in the right way that they weren't being portrayed as before. And if this is going to be a star NXT, let's disregard what they're doing, like with Shawn Spears and some others, and just look at the trajectory of everybody who's actually jumped ship so far. And they've made a big deal out of this because nobody had this leaked. Nobody had this as a possibility. Nobody was talking about Ethan Page. And now they presented it like he's a big free agent, that he's going to be a pillar of NXT going forward, if you want to use that type of terminology. And me personally, I don't feel like Trick Williams' era, if you would call it, is tied to a belt. I feel like he's just the face of the brand. He's the biggest star in the brand. So him being the era, this being the CW era, stuff like that, he'd still be the face of the brand without holding a belt. But what is he missing right now is an antagonist. He's missing somebody to kind of push him to the next level. So if he dropped the belt to Ethan Page, somebody that wasn't on the roster, somebody that you didn't expect, it only elevates Trick to that higher stardom that they want him to attain. So I think this would be the perfect time if they were to do it, because it would be a shock. Because this is somebody that's coming off the street that you didn't know nothing about, taking food off your plate. So for that, because I think it elevates Trick to a higher stratosphere, I'll take Ethan Page for the upset. And it's going to give Trick exactly what he needs, because they haven't elevated anybody else to be a viable world title threat in NXT yet.
So Jeffrey's saying, so we're going to have 2 former and current TNA competitors with WWE Gold? I think that
temporarily.
No, just
a temporary thing in the summer.
I was gonna say something totally inappropriate, but I'll say that for after the show. All right, well there it is. With that being said, any final words from the councilman, the mayor, and I'm reading the sweetest oos. I mean, I'm gone for like 2 weeks, and there's all this change. But any final words going into our PLE on Sunday?
Y'all? I'm just excited to see what's gonna go down because it's gonna be good and it's definitely a first one for the books. At the Apex, they're definitely gonna turn it out. It's gonna be awesome. I just can't wait to see what kind of surprises perk up from that event. It's gonna be fun. I might join in on that watch along a little bit too. So we're gonna be out here, keeping an eye on things. But I'm excited.
Sounds good. Did Said free? Oh no, I thought you froze Said. Any final words for your constituents?
Oh, if you see me on Sunday afternoon taking bids for the twerk off in the parking lot, mind your business. Just place your bets and keep you rolling. Just place your bids. I'll pay out later. But
I'll pay out later.
Yeah. I'm not sure.
What's going on? Doctor. I'm done. Cut the show. I'm done. Take me off.
All right. Well,
ever since that movement's been to the moon from its vice.
Speaking of to the moon, something that you guys can do this weekend as well is get some merch.
Hey, yo, you. Yeah, you that's watching this. You sitting on the couch staring at the screen not knowing what you want to do like this is an online college. Are you tired of wearing shirts that make you look like an extra stuck in catering? Do you want to step your wrestling swag game up to the next level? Then Women's Wrestling Talk has got you covered. Like literally. Are you for life in pink or black and white? Or maybe you're the EST and people need to respect you accordingly. Want to put some pride in your stride and show off the muscle in your hustle? Then make sure you check out the WWT store. Not now, but right now. Alright? What you waiting for? Head to www talkpodstore.com and don't make me fight you. Shit.
All right. Well, with that being said, the sweetest Oos, where can everybody find you?
Everybody can find me here Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. And before I even get into anything else, Boss Lady, so great to see your face and glad to have you back. We've missed you very, very much. Guys can find me here with the crew, WWT Live, Monday, Wednesday, Fridays. Don't forget, right after this, in about 30 minutes, we're going to be getting ready for our Honey Smackdown watch along where we get into our 2 hours of wrestling. So stay tuned and come into the chat, hang out with me. TikTok Wrestling with Honey, Instagram Wrestling with Honey, Facebook Wrestling W Honey. Look out for my little series on Instagram called Short and Sweet, where we talk about your favorite things and we keep it very to a minimum, a sweet minimum as well, because kindness goes a long way. And don't forget to check out our NXT post show every Wednesday, 10:30 on the East Coast. I believe that's 7:30 on the West, or depending on wherever you're at. And yeah, that's it. Oh, and the YouTube Wrestling with Honey podcast.
All right. Councilman Barrow, where can everybody find you?
You can find me at the Big Back Coalition _ on all platforms, Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook. If you follow us, we are getting ready for the Big Back Summit coming in August. It's going to be great. Tinkerbell is going to be there making an appearance.
I got a lot left in the tank.
Need I say more? Just make sure y'all follow and stay tuned.
Yeah, where can everybody find you?
I don't need your follows today, as I haven't this entire week. Don't follow me. Don't worry about what I'm at. What I do need is this. I need a sea of blue come Sunday for Battleground. Go on WWE.com, shop, go buy your Lola Vice shirts. WWE24, free shipping. You get free shipping. What are you waiting for? I want to see a blue come when you see the massacre of Shayna Baszler in NXT Underground. That's all I got to promote. See you Sunday.
All right. Well, Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Thanks for watching, rocking with us. Yeah, definitely be on the lookout. This evening we have, like I was saying, our SmackDown watch along. We also are going to have our Wild Post show. We were out for a couple of weeks, so our Wild Post show is going to be coming back this weekend. So look out for that. And like I also said, we're going to have a watch along and post show for NXT PLE this weekend, and so much more. And you definitely want to stay tuned for Monday. We're going to be announcing our network sponsor. It's a big deal, first network sponsor. So we'll be announcing that on Monday. So definitely be on the lookout for that. A lot of great things are going to be coming down the pipe. And that's about it. You can follow me everywhere and anywhere at TK Trinidad. Make sure you follow Women's Wrestling Talk on all social media platforms at WWTalkpod, and check out our website, www.talkpod.com. With that being said, thank you guys so much for watching Women's Wrestling Talk, the #1 women's wrestling show on the planet.
Thanks for joining WWT. Don't forget to like us on all social media platforms at WWTalkPod. Like and subscribe on all video and audio platforms, like yesterday, my G. And check out our website at wwtalkpod.com.